Yeah, buddy, that was my guy, Nicholas. I want the smoke. Rosario giving us his team, Northern Illinois. Shout out to their quarterback, Rocky Lombardo, who was a Spartan at one point. Got to show love to my baby. You know how it is. But definitely shout out to him. He will be on a number of the shows this fall, but he will also be back on this one to talk college football, to talk everything that we're talking right now. And I absolutely love that. Cannot wait to see what he's got coming. We are going to go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about the day games, but now let's get to the night games. Yeah, buddy. So now we are going through the night games, and that starts at 7 o'clock with Charlotte playing FAU. My Tar Heels playing FAMU, or whoever came on the bus, because not many people did come on the bus. North Texas plays the University of Texas El Paso. And then Vandy goes all the way to Hawaii to play the very, very late game at 10:30. Only 4 games on this late game docket, but again, it is week 0. It's not much going on. I'm going to start with you, Kate. Charlotte, FAU. What are you expecting from this game?
I'm expecting that Charlotte should win this game, and I'm expecting that these Conference USA rivals will have a good battle on the field today. The Owls are only favored by 7 points, though. They won 5 of their first 8 games last season, closed with 4 consecutive losses, unfortunately. But one of the Owls' victories came at Charlotte, where they won 38-9 and are 5-2 in the series against FAU. The Owls racked up 427 yards of total offense in last year's game, mostly on the ground. Johnny Ford gained 92 of the 202 rushing yards and finished with a 1-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Junior and native of Miami caught a screen pass in the third and a 32-yard score that secured the lead. Ran for 831 yards and 5 touchdowns last season while catching 23 passes for 280 yards. So he's an explosive back who can catch the screen pass when the quarterback needs him to and run it for touchdowns. And he's explosive on the ground as well. So be watching Johnny Ford tonight for Charlotte. And then they have quarterback Kenosi Perry, who was 9 of 11 passes for 225 yards and 3 touchdowns last year against them. He came from the University of Miami. Perry threw for 2,771 yards with 20 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions for the Owls. But their insecure part of their team is their shaky secondary. They've lost a lot of players there, so we'll see how well they do for them. And then you have FAU with quarterback Chris Reynolds, the redshirt senior, completed 64% of his passes for 2,680 yards with 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He was picked off twice in his loss to FAU, though, last season, but was 22-31 for 219 yards and a score. Charlotte's top 3 receivers from last season are back. Reynolds have plenty of good options. Junior Grant DuBose had 62 receptions for 892 yards and a team high 6 touchdowns, 1 versus the Owls. Sophomore Elijah Spencer had 6 touchdowns and made catches for 381 yards. Redshirt senior Victor Tucker recorded 51 for receptions for 639 yards and 2 scores, but the Owls should win this one, and it should be a very good game.
I like that.
But they're only 7-point favorites, so it could be anyone's game. So it could be FAU, it could be Charlotte.
I'm eager to see what Charlotte does. Ben, I'm going to come to you because Charlotte in the last couple of years has been – I mean, they've shocked a couple people. They won, I believe, against a couple years ago against BYU. They've they've kind of come up, and them in a coastal Carolina, they've kind of steep through the cracks, got a couple W's. What are your thoughts on the Charlotte team and FAU? I mean, FAU down in near Florida State and all that area. So talk to me about a little bit about this game too.
Charlotte, again, they're the 49ers.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Right, there it is.
Gives them a little credibility in the college football. But to be honest with you, I'm not really familiar with Charlotte. I know they're in the AAU, right? Is it the AAU they're in with Memphis and those guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They're playing FAU tonight. Again, I'm not familiar with Charlotte, but I am a little familiar with Florida Atlantic, with Willie Taggart being there. Right. So, it should be an interesting game. Again, it's one of those games where it's might not be on a lot of people's radar, but if you're a true college football fan, you're going to tune in and watch a little bit of it.
Absolutely.
To see. And we'll see what happens. I would probably pick, is it Charlotte the home team?
Mm-hmm. Are they the away?
The home team.
FA's home, yeah.
FA's home. Ooh, okay. Well, I would probably go FAU in this one.
At home. Okay.
At home.
Oh, I like that.
That might be like an upset pick for me,
Okay.
But hey,
I can dig it.
And Taggart's Willie's starting to get that program going a little bit,
Yeah.
Something unlike Florida State,
Right. But, yeah, different expectations.
Different expectations, that's true. But again, still, it's college football.
Absolutely.
You're still there. You want to get the program going. And, hey, this for both teams, this could be whoever wins this game could be good things going forward. Yeah. So, and whoever loses, be a tough start. But, it's only the first game. It's not the end of the world.
Right. And for like you said, only the people that are really deep into this are watching these games. For a lot of people, the college football season doesn't start till next week. You know what I mean? So this is one of those games that might be pushed to the side for some, but check this one out, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're going to get yourself a good game, if not for anything else, but for the fact that most, if not all of the players will be there, which is more than I can say for this next game, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, my Tar Heels in week 0, the first time we've ever played in week 0, are playing FAMU, or what's left of FAMU. Ladies and gentlemen, FAMU they're solid. 9-3 a year ago. At one point they had a 7-point win streak, but hours before this game, or probably a day before the game, it was in danger of getting canceled. 20 players from the FAMU team, including a number of starters, were not ineligible, either with transfer stuff or with grades or what have you. So at one point they only had, and right now coming into this game, they only have 7 scholarship players that are eligible to play in this. The players weren't even going to get on the bus, to be quite honest with you. They weren't going to get on the bus. They were going to stay. I mean, but why would you? You're going to get, the chances of you winning initially weren't great, but now with not having most of your talent, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of performance they put out. Look, Willie Simmons, their coach, is a solid guy. He's a star in the HBCU community, and really doing big things with this team. You know what my team is. We lost Sam Howell and it fell. Ben, I was talking to you about that a lot last night and everything. Yep. We, see how he's going. This is now the time of Drake May. He is the freshman. He's coming in here ready to get this thing going. And Mac Brown, we know what he's done. We know what he's done with good quarterbacks. He's had Vince Young. He's had Sam Howell from a year ago. A year ago was rough at 6. We went 6-7, losing in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Not too bad. Mad that we lost because their coach.
You, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Go Blue Devils.
Had to jab that a little bit.
I don't know what happened to Ben on the show, but no.
What team did you say they lost to?
Oh my goodness.
But Sam Howell, real quick, was going to be going to Florida State. Then he transferred to North Carolina.
To the right team.
Oh.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day in this game, you want to see a good matchup. You want to see, even if there's a big talent disparity, but the fact that FAU is still playing, at one point you're like, okay, that's great, good. You're going to still play with whoever you're out. But let's be honest, Ben, I talked to you about this last night. FAMU stands to make $450K off of this for their program, which is like you were talking about, is something that is good for the athletic facilities, is good for campus life, bringing recruits, things of that nature. So these type of games, this needs to happen. So I wonder if that played more of a role in them all ended up coming than anything else. But this game should be a blowout. My Tar Heels should get it done. We're returning 101 reception in Josh Downs, who was a stud last year, and we have a number of wide receivers under him. I want you to take a list, Petaway, and I'll get that name back to you in a little bit. The two-headed running back monster in the backfield. They're saying these guys are kind of similar to the Michael Carter and Javonte Williams that we had a couple years ago. Those of you who don't know, Javonte Williams is in Denver and is really highly touted in the league after just a couple years. And then Michael Carter's with the New York Jets, who's also been playing a pretty legitimate role for them. So I like what I'm seeing. And to obviously to help, we get Gene Chizik. Those of you, Georgia boys, you know about old Gene Chizik and everything that he's done. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what we bring to the table this year. This might not be the matchup that's going to really showcase the talents. It might be a cakewalk, but then we got App State next week. And my dear friend Kate knows a little bit thing about App State.
Don't go there.
Sorry about that. I'm
but
sorry. But
I think FAMU had to play this game because if they have all these roster issues, they need to get the players they do have that experience on the field and figure out what pieces they do have to work for them.
Yeah.
So it's probably important that they did play this and not forfeit the game or cancel the game, because if they still have these 20 players with eligibility, injuries, transfers, whatever, they need to figure out who they do have that can play for them. So I'm glad they're showing up. And I'm sure they won't win. I'm sure your Tar Heels. Tar Heels.
Now there is one point. There is one place where I guarantee they will most certainly win. When your coach, and I love our coach, Mac Brown, when he sits here and doesn't talk about the team, doesn't talk about the quarterback, doesn't talk about the coach, talks about one of the best marching bands in the country, the incomparable Marching 100, FAMU marching band. And when your coach talks about them, that's how you know how good they are. The game is going to be the game, but everybody's going to wait to see halftime. They're going to want to see that performance. Look, if you haven't seen an HBCU marching band, that is sometimes better than the game. And not even because the talent ain't great on the game, but just because it's such a presentation and you're into it. And I love it.
I hope something like that should motivate a team, right?
Exactly.
If you have a great marching band, I would think that could motivate you to go out there and play better.
But that's like saying
they get down and get funky.
They could, yeah.
What do you got to lose?
That's like saying if your basketball team's amazing, then your football team should be great. But as you saw, it didn't work for us. All right, all the real talent is on the marching band.
It can work here though.
Just like a drum line, man. Look at Nick Cannon. Drum line, baby. Come on.
Nick Cannon.
Atlanta's the same way.
It's football team. They're getting up there now.
Yeah. So hey, at the end of the day, like Kate said, North Carolina is favored to win this ball game. And let's see what happens. I'm eager to see what Drake May does. I'm eager to see kind of how our offense look. We have a stud D line led by Desmond Evans, number 10. So I want to see how Gene Chizik works that defense. We got great linebackers in the backfield, some solid safety. So I really want to see what he brings to the table. And even though this might not be a game that they're playing up to your level, let's not play down to them. Let's get the job done. And I want this over by halftime. That's just me. But I can't wait. It's under the lights. So I am so excited about that. Moving on, North Texas plays UTEP at 9. But the game that people are talking about, well, not really. But the latest game and the last game of the night, Vanderbilt versus Hawaii in Hawaii. I'm coming to the SEC Insider, Mr. Colin P. from the DMV. Colin, talk to me about Vandy. the SEC and Hawaii. What should we expect out of this today?
Well, it's just funny to me because in my college days, I used to dabble a little bit of betting on college football, that kind of stuff. And then it was always when you were down, man, you waited on a Hawaii game because it was always like, midnight, 10, 11 o'clock. That was your late game to come back and make your money back. It's your last chance. But, yeah, you and I talked a little bit last night about it. I think I'm not sure, but I think this is the first time actually Vandy has played Hawaii and vice versa. I can't remember them ever playing Hawaii. Vanderbilt's been struggling. They had losses to Georgia, Florida, and Miss State last year, and they were outscored 149-6. So that's a huge boost for your confidence, I'm sure. But they allowed at least 21 points per opponent, and they averaged their opponents averaged 35.8 points against them and 457.3 yards in offense. So but they have but they had Ray Davis. Ray Davis was actually out of 2021 due to health concerns. But they do have on bright spot that you and I talked about, Mike Wright. He is a quarterback. He's an elusive talent. He's got quick. He's got a strong arm, quick feet, and also the 80% of the offensive line is returning. You got Rocco Griffin and I guess it's Roman Davis. So that's just good. Good for the offense. 80% of those guys are coming back, so giving Mike a little bit of protection. On the flip side of that, on the defense side of the ball, 75% of their players are coming back on the defense. And you got Anthony Orgi, I guess it's Orgi, A-O-R-G-I. He had 92 tackles, and actually 13 of those tackles were against Tennessee alone. And you also have linebacker DeRicky Wright coming back. So they have a lot of bright spots in Vanderbilt and Hawaii. I mentioned earlier we were talking. They are the second team the second fewest players to come back. Their team is they're not returning a lot of people. So that's definitely they average 28.8 points and 405 yards per game. They allowed 31.4 points a game and allowed 446 yards per game as well. They had some transfers come in, Joey Yellen from Pitt and Cameron Cooper from Washington State. But they did lose their top three receivers. But their running back, Derek Pearson, he's returning. He had 300 receiving yards as well as 600 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. I mean, that was good for him. And your defense for Hawaii, you got Panay Pavi. He had 47 tackles. He had Isaiah Tafuga. He had 2 sacks, and Hugh Nelson had 2 interceptions. And like I said, they only have 33% of their roster returning. So, I mean, I'm looking at, we talked about it last night a little bit, Sean. I said Vandy might Vandy. I was just saying that, Vandy's kind of a weird team. I mean, they could come out of nowhere and beat you, and then sometimes they, lay an egg. I mean, there's really no in between that I've noticed, in that team. But it should be a good game. I mean, I think Vandy's going to come out with it, and they're picked to win by 9.5. So,
absolutely. Look, I'm expecting great things from Clark Lee. Obviously, he ruffled feathers in the daggone media day saying we could be the best team in the country and everything like that. But I think when you're coaching a team that has been perennially bad, you have to say things like that. You have to get your guys charged up, because if they see you believing it, then they're going to believe it. And Vandy, there's only one way to go, and it is up. You know what I mean? So I'm eager to see what happens with this game. I'm eager to see because, like you said, Hawaii has a number of people that are not returning, with 50 some odd new players coming to Hawaii, new coach, new stuff. Kate, you were talking to us about that a week ago. And let's be very honest, they're going to Hawaii. For those of you who don't know, Vanderbilt is on the East Coast. Right. Vanderbilt, it's in Nashville, right?
Yeah, it's in Tennessee.
Yeah, so they're going all the way to Hawaii. You talk about a time change, and even if they've been there a couple of days, kind of getting acclimated, you're still in Hawaii. And I don't know if any of you guys have been there. My brother was in the Marines, and he was stationed out there. You ain't focusing on no game in Hawaii. What was that, Ben? You focus on a little bit of that.
Right.
You get laid as soon as you get off the plane. I mean, with the delays, guys.
I got what you mean.
I got
PG, keep it PG, man.
I keep it PG. Mom might be watching.
Right.
All right, Mom might be watching. All right.
Yeah.
So that I'm Vanderbilt. This is their opportunity to start off the year in the right way on a team in Hawaii that is not looking. I mean, they're really rebuilding from scratch. Right. So I'm eager to see what they do. Shout out to Tommy Chang, their coach. You brought him up a week
their
ago.
New coach. Yeah. 2004, like right before Colt Brennan.
Exactly.
Chang, the quarterback.
R.I.P. Colt. Yeah. So I'm eager to see what they do, and with their new coordinator, I think Shoemaker. He has that real fast paced offense. So we're going to see what happens tonight, and who knows? We might get the last game of the night being a little barn burner, a little high scoring affair, because I'm not sure there's going to be any defenses going on here.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. So we shall definitely see.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.